Hola. Uh, this video is for very specific members, and you know what? You might be one of them. You might become one of them. It's a potentiality. For um, foundation members, you. I've been informed that there's been another case of something that we've termed a resonance effect is transpiring amongst many people, and it started to happen to a few of our members, and we've had another case of it now. So I guess we have to address it appropriately for their safety. It is a health concern at this point. Um, People who have worked with the Kundalini impulse and people who have built it. Okay, first we need to, in case any of you are unaware, your body has a halo surrounding it that is, it's a electromagnetic field that surrounds it. It's like a static array. You know, when you have a static discharge, when you touch something and you rub a balloon and it sticks to your head, that's static electricity. That's electromagnetic energy. And you do have a kind of a force field around you of this. And that field extends and it becomes, there's varying levels to it that extend outward, and ultimately it just kind of extends everywhere. It is literally everything. And you can look into this. This is not, again, nothing that we're going to tell you is hocus pocus or mystical nonsense. This is all hard science. So go ahead and look into it. You do, in fact, have a field radiating from your body that extends outward into eternity, ultimately. It has layers that range from static electricity to electromagnetic gravity, gravitation fields, which is how magnetic compatibility operates. And then it extends into light and sound. Ultimately, everything is sound. And so that's the one that's going to really bounce off the walls there. That's how you reach the boundary through sound. But then we have light, which is at this point, I'm pretty sure that the scientific community thinks that everything is made of light, but it's actually made of sound, and they'll find that soon enough if they haven't already. I think some of them have, and they're catching on to it. But in any case, this field, the closer it gets to you, obviously it's going to be stronger, radiating from you, and you can observe this field. If you don't buy it, it's very simple. You just look at something, find a place where there is a shadow behind in the background, where there's a light here, like there's a light, a lamp shining a light, and then the wall is dark, is shadowed, like the light's not extending through the whole room. Get what I mean? Have like a lamp that has a light coming down, and then the wall is dark shadow, and hold your hand up in the light and look around it. And if you need to, take your hand like this and bring them together and move them apart and watch the space between them and feel. You can feel it. If it's strong enough, you can feel it. And in the cases that I'm speaking to, you'll feel it. But you'll see little strands that, to me, they look kind of silverish, like a glossy kind of white vaporous static kind of thing. And they're solid. They're wires. They're these lines are connecting everywhere. They're all over the place. If you overdose on diphenhydramine, you'll see the webbing. It's And you'll also see this weird stuff that's another issue. I'll get to that. That's part of the remnants program. But um, you can observe this field, that it connects from your fingertips and it's going to connect from your hands, and it you can see it, and you can actually form it and build it and use it if your focus. Meditation allows for you to do this. We use tactile imaging, which I got into with other videos, but I'm gonna have to readdress it in shorter clips. Obviously this clip is not going to be exceptionally short because I need to address this issue. It's very important. So you again, just hold your hand up and look at it, and with the shadow in the background, look around it. You're going to see a field around it. You just soften your focus, like let your eyes drift to where you're not like focusing. Try to, like, I suppose what you could try to do is focus on the shadow in the background while looking at the hand. And once you get it, Once you've seen it, you'll be able to focus your eyes on it, and then you can look directly at it. And some people see colors in it and such. I do not, but I also have a color deficiency in my eyes, which might explain that. In any case, people who work with the Kundalini impulse, they are for the most part, a lot of them do not have it fully active and do not have any like actual level of control over it. So it's going to be kind of haywire, jumping around all the time. It's going to be sporadic. It's going to be causing symptoms. These symptoms come in the form of what they call tinnitus. It's a noise that comes off of things. It's everywhere. It comes off of everything. You're hearing the sound of things is what I think. There are patterns to it. It's pointless, but um, you might see halos around things sharply, and that can cause migraines. If the light is amplified, that can cause migraines. Uh, Anxiety is a key issue. If you have an anxiety disorder or panic attacks, you have this happening to you. The Kundalini is malfunctioning. It's getting stuck somewhere. There's a blockage in your pipeline in your system. One of your engines or more, could be all of your engines. Your chakras, your nerve centers could be blocked, and they're blocked via psychological mechanisms. This is all your body is controlled by your mind. It's not the psyche is the source. So like that's the closest you're going to get. Beyond that is emotion, and emotion is something you can't quite get a grip on. It's not physical really, but it expresses as physical values. But everything beyond emotion and love essentially is which love is emotion. Love is investment. It's not positive emotions. It's every emotion. It's anything that you invest in. What drags your attention, that's love. It's everything. It's unconditional. It's in everything. It's everywhere. It's unavoidable. So might as well get loving, and if you think that loving is meant to be positive and friendly and kind, then you fucking feel free to go ahead and do that all the time with everyone. I do. Works out pretty well most of the time. A lot of people block me, but fuck them. Anyways, if you work with this Kundalini impulse and you actually open up these chakras, you open up the engines and allow for it to flow through when you get the full charge, it's going to amplify you. It's going to boost you in such a way that it allows for you to gain a hell of a lot more speed and momentum. It boosts your metabolism to the point where you're oxygenated intensely. You are a fucking battery. You're an energy machine, and it we'll have to get in all the aspects of the impulse itself, talking to that specifically, because it's kind of a different topic. But in this case, in this regard, people who do have that active, they give off this aura, this halo that is very amplified. It's very fine tuned. It's very specific signature. This Kundalini impulse. It's an amplification, and it's meant to amplify. Its purpose is to fix you. Its purpose is to retrain your operating system, kind of reboot your system. Uh, if you activate it prematurely, it's going to break through any obstacles in your system. It's going to cause damages, and it causes these damages for the purpose of fixing them, remodeling you internally for the most part, and bringing you to maximum efficiency so that you can. It opens up all your channels so that you can build more energy, and then you do, and you have to fuel it, and there's a lot of things. It's a very tricky it's kind of an evolutionary process, I would say, although personally I theorize that it's more likely that this is just our natural state and somehow it's been shut down, it's been blocked, because there are certain organs in the body, such as the appendix, that the impulse makes use of the appendix. However, medical community is going to tell you that the appendix is redundant, that there's no use for it, that it's a leftover from evolution. That no, they just don't know how to use it, and that's because it's been blocked off, and they just don't know how to make use of it. Although we do. The appendix is exceptionally useful. It is not redundant in any way, shape, or form. Um, when when you encounter people who give off this halo, if you kind of tune in with them, if you guys get on the same wavelength and you are coordinating, you've achieved a kind of a sense of a fusion between the two of you. You're operating on the same level, on the same page. You resonate with each other essentially. Then sometimes, in fact, it appears in most cases actually, if people have any sort of a tendency towards this practice, and especially if they tune their values to seek it, to get into this practice, especially if you're a spotter or you intend to become one, uh, you you're gonna likely experience what we've a phenomenon we've come to term resonance effect, where the Kundalini in your body is gonna be triggered spontaneously, and there's not really a whole hell of a lot you can do about it. We don't know how to control this. There's really nothing we can do about it except train it. So once it's activated, you're going to experience things like anxiety, insomnia. You're going to experience perhaps a tinnitus. You're going to experience migraine. You're going to get all kinds of symptoms. And personally, I hypothesize that every single illness is in some way originates with this problem. This is in fact, I'm going to go ahead and tell you that from my perspective, this is a theory, but it's a well founded theory, and it makes a whole hell of a lot of sense if you get into it, that every malfunction of the body originates from this one cause. Something is wrong with this impulse. It's trying to get through you, it's trying to express you, it's trying to fuel you, become you, and it's getting blocked somewhere and it's malfunctioning. And so you might get like, the chronic stomach pains, you might get uh I got a collapsed lung. You might get I got a collapsed lung, I got a cyst, I got all kinds of stuff. I had to get my motherfucking guts ripped out. Pieces had to get removed because of this. It can do a lot of damage if it's not coordinated properly. And again, when I speak to this, remember that the initiative is here to direct the Kundalini impulse of the entire planet, which is in fact unleashing right now. This resonance phenomenon is a symptom, a side effect of that. It's people are just getting activated left and right because the world is activating right now, and we need to control it or it's going to do damage. And that brings us into the scenarios where we can talk about where people came up with ideas of an apocalypse. Okay, so we don't want to go into that. That's not We cannot afford to take that path at all. And that's what we're here. We're here to make sure that we direct, the other way. In any case, if you experience these symptoms, especially spontaneously experience these symptoms, the one symptom that I'd like to speak to now is the anger, fits of anger, rage. I call this a frenzy, or I've called it a feral rush. And you might have the tendency to just kind of want to grab something and break it. You might do it kind of unconsciously, not even really controlling yourself. You just get this fit and you grab something and you break it. Resist the urge to break things, because believe me, it's going to get worse. You're going to have to learn to control this. And anyone who experiences this, contact me. I will direct you through it. I'll get you through it cleanly. It's not really a problem once you get a handle on how to maneuver it, but figuring that out on your own, believe me, fuck me, that was a decade of hell. And I don't know if I've ever met somebody who experienced things quite as difficult as I have in that regard. So I can get you through it. I can coach you through it, and we're gonna make sure that you're all taken care of. We don't want anybody to go through any negative side effects of this. It is a positive process, and it will fix you, heal you. It will boost you. Of course, there are problems thereat after. Once it is activated, there are difficulties that we've run into, personally, that I've run into, that are related to that, which we're going to have to figure out how to deal with. We found some potential cures for that, but for the most part, right now I'm SOL. But in any case, we're going to have to train you to fuel it properly, to manage it properly. We're going to have to train you to activate it properly. We're going to have to go through all these steps to manage you guys. And I'm sorry for anybody that has activated it, run into it, because it can happen. Apparently, all you have to do is come into contact with somebody who has it active and pronounced, and, get on cue with them, and it can prompt it, trigger it in you. And then, even enacting with them through the group page apparently can do it. So, um, if it happens, if you get these symptoms out of nowhere, anxiety attacks, fucking fits of anger, any kind of chronic pains or anything, contact me. I'll take care of you. We'll get you taken care of. We know how to manage this, and we will take care of it for you. But do not do that. If you experience these symptoms, you need to contact me, because your doctor's not going to know what to do with you. They are not going to help you. In fact, they are trained to do the opposite. The medical community is trained specifically to medicate this, to treat this with placebos and you know therapeutic effects, pain management. They're trained to try and kill it. Whoever's running the show, or set up the program way back when, they made damn sure that everybody's on the same page, that if this impulse rises, we need to kill it. We need to stop it, shut it down, and that is not going to work. If you try to block it, it's going to break you. They don't have drugs that are stronger than this thing, believe me. So if you experience these symptoms, do not blow me off on this. This is a very real thing, and you need to contact me, and I will help you manage it properly. And trust me, it's going to benefit you hugely if you do. If you try to medicate it, if you go to a doctor, they're going to fuck you over straight up. I'm going to tell you that. I'm going to call it right now. So go ahead and try it at your own risk. Get medicated, break yourself. I really hope you don't do that. You contact me, and we can take good care of you with that. So, um, I suppose there's not much more I can say about that. I hope I've listed all the potentialities, symptoms, whatnot. Anxiety, tension, tremors, sleeplessness, restlessness, migraines, chronic pains, aches and pains from out of nowhere, especially fits of anger. That's a sure shot sign. The tinnitus, that's a definite one. That means that it's hit the upper levels. So please contact me if you experience these symptoms, and I will direct you appropriately. I'm not going to let any of you guys get hurt. So if it could be happening to a bunch of you right now, and you just don't know it yet and haven't mentioned it. I mean, all of you that are in contact with me, please let me know one way or another. And I am going to have to be, I'm going to have to be focusing my attention in the future, from here on, for the foreseeable future, on the directive and getting them coordinated. So I'm not going to be, checking in on you guys as often. And so you're going to have to contact me if you have any troubles. You're going to have to let me know. If you need anything, get in touch with me, because I'm not going to be watching you guys so much in the near future. I'm sorry, but I really cannot. I'm unable to move that fast yet to take care of everything. So I'm gonna have to focus my attention one way or the other. And I don't have a whole hell of a lot of help right now, but I'm gonna get it. That's the point of this. I'm gonna get it soon, and then we're gonna get on page, and everything's gonna work out well. So please contact me if you have experienced this resonance effect. And take care. Be safe. Be excellent. But be fucking safe too. Love you guys. Kilo Salai Tevi. Une Namaste.